Hello and welcome to Mordhau Open World Survival RPG Mestaria-Beta Beginner's Guide. That was a mouthful, but it's not done with the name of the video. How to heal, choosing equipment, getting a horse, increasing inventory, and where to go. That's quite a long name for a video. So first thing you're going to want to know is how to actually get to the server. So we're going to go to fight, and you might be tempted to press this button if you're new to the game. Never press this. You want to go to server browser and you can search all kinds of servers. The way I found this originally was putting this in, and then I was looking for the Star Wars deathmatch mod thing, but then I found this one. I was like, this looks cool. So just double click and then you'll find it. I don't know how or why Star brings this up, but it does. That's how I find it. So one thing that, at least right now, as the time of recording this video, that you want to know when you're entering is that you gotta click quickly, because if you don't, it'll time you out and the game will crash if you wait, like, I don't know, an amount of time. But this is where you're gonna spawn, and I would recommend do all of this. Read it all. It'll be helpful. Press 4. There we go. Okay. Yeah, like this guy. Just do that, all that stuff. And then you're gonna want to do this so you know how to do it. And then right after you've learned that, I would throw or sell your pickaxe and your axe, both axes, because dealing with that is more of a late game thing. You can build respawn tents with wood and stone, but like just buy them. They're not that expensive, and that's really the only thing that you'd ever want to craft with this. Honestly, just buy it, and then you don't have to worry about that until you want to build like a base or something. Then that's when you get iron and axes, and then that'll free up your inventory, because at the beginning you're not going to have this much inventory. This is the max inventory. It's 100 inventory slots. You're going to have like 20. So those 2 inventory slots are pretty important. But what you do definitely want to keep is your sickle and your dagger. You want to keep both of those. So once you're done looting this bandit camp, I'm going to just walk over here. You can kill these things, and then this is a great time to talk about your loadout. So I've got some stuff over here. This guy thinks that I'm an enemy, but I'm not. We're going to put on my looting gear. There are like 4 different things that you want to think about when you're getting your equipment. One is having heavy armor, and at the beginning that's probably the main thing that you want to focus on. But then there is looting luck, which can be even on your weapon. And then it can give, right now I've got 70% looting luck. So one thing that I think is a good idea is you have your heavy armor, and then you fight, and then once all the guys are dead, then you switch out to your looting gear, and then you walk up to the chest, and you're like, hey, I got some stuff. And now they're fighting me. Interrupting my video. And this is a pretty basic way of fighting that I found effective for me, is just stabbing, walking back, and then stabbing. I didn't actually tell you the other things that are good to have. Looting luck for looting chests, you get better gear. Then you have harvesting luck, which we'll get to later, which is very nice, and then bartering, which makes you get more money when you sell stuff if it's equipped. So those are the things you want to think about with loot. And then now, instead of going down, I'd recommend going to the right or forward. Also, when you have a horse, you get to see the north and east, which is very helpful for navigating the map. The reason why I recommend going over here is because it's kind of like that one camp, but it's just more guys, more loot. Good place to get your basic loot. And like, honestly, you can just ignore these guys. You get the loot, and then go running, and then it's like, hey, I don't care. Because this is a no-risk area, so I don't lose anything for dying. And I get a lot more for just looting these chests than fighting these guys. But, I mean, you can fight them, and stuff, and it's fun. And you get stuff for killing them. But it's pretty fast to just loot and run. And now is a good opportunity to tell you. Wait, oops, that was the health potion, which is another way to heal. We're going to talk about healing. So the first part about how to heal is a thing. But first, we're gonna take some damage. There we go. We got hit. So, I had put this over here, and it was throwing me off.
So, we're going to this and
Put that there. So, I'd recommend getting a musical instrument with, you see that +5 health per regen tick? That is your friend. So we're gonna equip this, and we're gonna start see how quickly I heal. Yeah, that's pretty nice to have. I'd recommend getting one of those. But before you get that, I'd recommend getting the horse, because the horse is really nice and it's also pretty cheap. You only need 500 for the horse and 250 for the mount whistle. But this area, I'm gonna press my whistle. The horse despawns, and I'm gonna loot these areas because they're good loot. And you can just ignore these guys. I mean, fighting them is fun. They do drop stuff, but you get the most loot from just walking up. And I get the money, and then I don't care. I'm faster than you. Ha! See? And then now I got some money, and then I can just keep going. And then oh, we're off. We're off now. So now we're gonna go to the village, which I call White Run, but it's actually called something else. But we're almost there. And these deer are good later for the crafting. But first, we're gonna talk to you about how to get a horse, where to go. It's not that complicated. This horse trader guy right here, he will pretty much always have a mount whistle, which you can buy. That's the first thing you need to get. And also, another thing to keep in mind is he sells rawhide. He sells hides. Those are good things to buy. Whoa, what is this? Ability technique scroll? Transmute with instruction. Nice. That's what you get when you have really high looting luck. I've never seen that before. So that's why getting looting luck is pretty cool. You might be tempted to be like, hey, I'm going to do magic, because they mention magic in the tutorial. That is a end game thing. You have to get these to be able to unlock magical abilities. I'm pretty sure if I click on this, I'll then have the ability to do Fireball, which is pretty cool, which I'll do. It says ability learned Fireball, I think in the bottom left. So yeah, trying to remember. We go to ability menu, and I had Mage Light, and now I have Fireball. And I think you have to like map your keys or something. You can't do that normally. Maybe in the next video I'll talk about magic if you want. If this video gets anyone watching it, maybe we'll talk about that. But right now I'm not there yet. But this is how you get the horse. That's the first part. So you'll need 715 total money, and then down here, one of these guys is where you can buy the horse. I believe it's this guy. Yeah, and one thing I didn't realize is you can select the horse that you want. I just got the black horse because it was like, oh, but you can choose that. So now we have covered how to heal. That's the well, you have these health potions which can heal you. You also have the instrument. I'd focus on the instrument. I don't want to talk to you. And then let's go how to get these minor expansion bag expansions. So we go to crafting, and this is one of the more confusing things. Definitely needed like the other stuff, maybe you didn't need a tutorial for this. I was very confused. So you gotta go to production, then thaumaturgy, then you've got minor bag expansion. So the way you get these, we're gonna go over all three of these ingredients. The Rune of Holding you get from the Thaumaturgist, which is the place you go to finally craft it. We're going to need rough linen, and we're going to need rough leather. This is where this harvesting luck comes in. So we're gonna switch out to harvesting luck. That's the only thing I got with harvesting luck. And then we have the dagger, which we're gonna need, and we're gonna need the sickle. So first, let's go to the dagger. And one thing to keep in mind, at this city, there's pretty much always going to be deer over here. And there's too many people grabbing these deer. But as you can see, that guy, he just killed a deer, and he's got his knife. And he's gonna... I was assuming he was gonna get the deer, but he's just dancing over the deer. You know, you can see now I got a rawhide from that. But we're gonna talk about how to kill these deer. It's very difficult, especially at the beginning, to kill a running deer. It's a lot easier if you get a weapon like this that can kill them in one hit. And I can just...
It's very difficult when they're running.
Like that deer over there wasn't running, so he was able to kill it pretty easily. I don't really want to steal his deer. So another thing that you can do if they're running around is get your mount. Still difficult. And then try to hit him. But really the best way is when they're not moving at all. Yeah, that's also... Oh, it's not moving at all. So, we're gonna talk about how if you've got your basic weapon, you want to stand in front of the deer. And then... And somehow it despawned. What? The deer is gone, but that's how you do it. You don't stand behind them because they're going to run forward and you'll have less time to hit them because you need to hit them multiple times. But that's how you do it. So now, currently there's no deer here, so we're going to go over the other thing you want to do. And that is, there should be a bunch of brush here, but there isn't for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, there's brush here. So we're going to equip our sickle. And then we're going to walk up to these plants and whack a bunch of plants over and over and over. This is the easier part, so that's why you start with the deer, and then you go to these plants when you're waiting for the deer to respawn. You just run up to the bush, hit whack, and then you can see the rough fibers. That's what we're after. We're going to need 8 rough fibers and 16, 8 of these, which we got already, that fast. We're going to need 16 rawhides, though, to make a single minor bag expansion. That's the ingredients, and then we're going to have to go crafting. So, we go back to the deer. Maybe they've respawned. And if they haven't, we'll tell you the easiest way to do it, which isn't actually killing deer. you were paying attention, you already know what it is. They didn't respawn. The way is to just go back over here. This guy, the guy you got the whistle from, and then we're going to talk to him. And then, oh, there's the raw hides. So I can click one at a time, or you can hit Alt. Do this for the example, and then click, and then I bought the whole stack. That was more than I needed, but it's fine. It's this building over here. And this is where one of the, like, 3 thaumaturgy guys that I know of are. There's the thaumaturgy guy, and then there's the thaumaturgy table. You'll need both of these. So to this guy, we're going to talk to him, and we're going to buy one of these minor runes of holding. That's really the best way to get this stuff, is these minor runes of holding. From talking to him specifically. And then you can go here, and then you can be like, okay, game. I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to the table. Okay, then here, at this thaumaturgy table, you're able to do all of these thaumaturgy crafts. We're like, oh, wait, no, okay, I have 1 ingredient, but I need these 2 ingredients. So what we're going to do is we have to go to the spinning wheel here, which is very convenient that it's just right there. We've got rough linen. So we have rough fibers, we do this twice, and then we have our rough linen, our 2 rough linen we need. And we're going to run wrong direction, this way. And then we have this tanning rack. And over here, it already automatically opens to leatherworking, and then we have this. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why we needed 16 to make 4 of this. And then we run back over here. Not him, but the table is what we need. And then we have a minor bag of stuff. We have it all. We hit craft, and now we have a 3rd bag. Then once you do that, you click on it, and it'll give you 1 to 3 inventory slots, and do that over and over again. You can also get major ones, and you can upgrade these. So there are this and this. So hide tannin helps you upgrade hides. So if we go to leatherworking and refining, you can craft it, and then you can craft these with the blue hide. But you can also refine the materials that we'd made earlier with hide tannin to make this. So that means, and that keeps going down the line, you can basically make the fanciest stuff with just the base stuff if you have hide tannin. And the same exact concept happens with cloth solvent with cloths. Basically exactly the same thing, just one comes from deer and one comes from the brush. And then that's how you make a bag. So we've talked about how to get healing, we've talked about how to get a horse, and how to increase your inventory. And now that you've figured that out, we're going to cover where to go from here. So we're going to press M, which should bring up the map. There we go. So we are right here. And the best places at the beginning of the game to adventure is basically just west from here. So like this Tagwood Bandit Fort, the logging camp, like this area is a bunch of good places to fight because there's no risk. So you're like new, you die a bunch, it's not a big deal. And then Grad Castle is also a great place to go.